This is Mind Hub with Lauren Ashley, presented by Kokoropsyche, Episode 7. What's up, guys? Welcome. And if you're a regular, welcome back. I'm your host, Lauren. And for my newbies, thank you so much for giving me a chance. And I'm going to let you know right here, right now, what this podcast is all about, all right? We're focused on 3 main goals here. The first one being to wake you up to your world that surrounds you. The second, to help you nurture the connections between your heart, mind, body, and soul. And the third, to instill within you an unwavering faith in your personal power and limitless potential. If that's sounding good to you, come on in. Let's get straight to it. Hey you! Welcome back. And if you're new, thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for giving me a shot. I hope that you've been having a week filled with love, joy, purpose, and respect. And most of all, if you're not getting that from anyone else, which I pray that you are, I hope that you've been giving all of these things and then some to yourself, because nothing matters most than you loving yourself the way that you know you deserve to be loved. Am I right? Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're new, you probably don't know what's next, but my regulars already know. Get ready to take in that deep breath because we're going straight into our daily affirmation. I did a stretch today, y'all. All right. I am brave, and I choose to be courageous enough to make my desires my reality. Now, if you didn't know, affirmations are powerful. And I'm not going to get too deep into that because we'll definitely have an episode dedicated to that. But affirmations is a way of you claiming your life, claiming your energy, claiming who you want to be, how you want to be it, and claiming it in the now. What you say is what it becomes. Power is in the words. Your words have meaning, and those meanings move monuments. They create your reality, whether you want to believe it or not. It's very much true. So that's why I decided in every single episode to instill these affirmations. I want y'all to say them with me every time you listen, even if that means pausing me, even if that means rewinding or writing it down. But remember, affirmations is just one of those little steps you can take to rebuilding your life in the way in which you see fit. Because if you think about it, we do affirmations all of the time when we just think in our head natural thoughts. So why not put effort into making those thoughts positive and meaningful and purposeful and beneficial to our everyday lives, right? Right. All right. Awesome. So, on today's episode, this week's episode, we're tapping into our true selves as we discuss purpose, origin, and spirituality and answer a very personal question: who am I? Right? All right. I'm so excited for this episode. And before we dive into that, I want to remind you guys to make sure y'all are tuning in to our post on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. We just made our Twitter account. We're growing slowly but surely. Every Wednesday, we post a space called Why It Matters, Mental Health, the Daily Commitment. I encourage you guys to tune into that. It's a live, basically a live for Twitter. They made this new thing called a space. And in that, you can listen or you can request to be a speaker. And we're just having cash conversations. Spaces last as long as you want to. We typically will make them last for about an hour to 3 hours. So I hope you guys will tune in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central American Time. Also, make sure you're looking out for that official Kokoropsyche.com website launch. Y'all know I always bring this up because I'm so excited for you all to have access to meaningful resources, plenty for the free. I'm talking healing guides, planners, self-care guides, things like that, and as well as anxiety relief products, things that physically stimulate you, mentally stimulate you. So much that I'm excited for you guys to have, so make sure you're looking out for that, all right? Thank you again for tuning in, and it's time for our segment, Off the Chest. All right, so before we get into the juice of this episode, I'm going to go ahead and explain what Off the Chest is. It's our segment that directly involves our community members, and I'm hoping it'll involve you too, listener. Y'all know I'm waiting on y'all to send me those submissions. I know some of y'all listeners are listening, but I haven't gotten your submission yet. I want to hear what you have to say. Go ahead and give me something. I want to hear what you have to say, and trust me, you'd be surprised how many others would want to hear what you have to say as well. I'm telling you, your voice matters, and this platform, as well as the many platforms Kokoropsyche is building for regular people, everyday people, normal people, because we're all normal weirdos at the same time, will be great for you to just feel heard, feel respected, and feel welcomed. So this particular platform, Off the Chest, is a safe space to celebrate your accomplishments, vent your issues, experiences, or problems, seek advice, or ask a couple questions. Submissions are always received and respected. No topic is unwelcomed. All that we ask, aside from you being respectful naturally, please be respectful, is that you keep it 100% real as you get it off the chest. Today, we have a submission from another anonymous sender. I want to give you a shout out, anonymous sender. I know you'll recognize your question when you hear it. Thank you for being brave, and thank you for trusting me with your thoughts. And that submission states, what do you do when you don't know where to start? And when you do know, how do you inspire yourself to keep going? So that is a very beautifully intelligent and aware question. Thank you for giving me that question. What do you do when you don't know where to start? I feel like you're addressing life, right? Like you feel like stuck and you don't know what next step to take, what to do, how to do it. You know the things you may know the things you might want, right? The luxury, or maybe not the luxury, to travel, or if not to travel, to experience something or to own something. So typically we know what we want, but we don't know how to get it, right? I think that one of the most obvious answers to that difficult task in life is reverting back to your passion. What are you passionate about? I don't care what anybody has to say. Every single one of us has something in this world that we're either, one, naturally talented at. We barely have to try. We're just very good at it. Two, something we're extremely passionate about, and we may have to put work in, a little bit of work towards it, but it doesn't feel like work because we're in love with doing it. Or three, both of those things. You're naturally talented at something and you're passionate about it. And if any of those three apply to you, and I know one of them have to, I say start there. Acknowledge your passions and see where you can go with that passion. Oftentimes it may feel like, well, this passion can't make me any money. Like, for instance, I've always been talented, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, at writing. And I love to write. I love to tell stories. I love to speak. But ironically, I've typically dealt with extreme social anxiety and a need of validation that I've been overcoming. So that was definitely a double-edged sword hindrance. But I was patient, and personal story in 2020, every day, I thought about meditating, but barely did it. But I knew I needed to. But I thought to myself constantly. That was one thing I could say I did. And I asked myself, what do you want? What do you want to do? I had just graduated college and with my psych degree. And I was in my master's degree program, but it wasn't fulfilling me. And that's when I had noticed that I was only in it because I was trying to please other people. Because I was told, well, you have to get this, and then you have to get that degree, and then you have to get that degree, and then you can become a doctor and do this, that. And I was like, yeah. That's what I'm supposed to do. Be a doctor. If I want to travel, I have to be a doctor. If I want to do this, I have to be. But no. It's very much so possible for you to live a life that you don't dread waking up to. It's very much possible for you to enjoy a life that you've built for yourself, doing the things you love to do. It's very much possible for you to have to put in work on a daily basis, but the work you put in, it isn't causing you misery. It's simply work. Even if you may not feel like doing it that day, you don't dread doing it. You necessarily don't mind doing it because you love what you do. So I say start with analyzing your passions. What do you love to do? There are so many different things in this world. There is a job for everybody. And if you dread the word job, I get that. But you're dreading what you've seen and what other people have tried to instill and put on you. I challenge you to change your mindset, take control of your life, and acknowledge who you are. What do you want and what do you love? That's the first step to when you don't know where to start. Just start by what do you love and practice what you love every day. Do research about what you love. Get inspiration from other people. You know, we're blessed with Google. You'd be surprised how many different stories and inspirations you can find. Analyze that passion. See how other people with similar passions have took that passion and created something beautiful for themselves. See how you can use it for yourself. You know, we're blessed with social media, and that's made marketing so much easier. I'm not saying we're all destined to be social media people, but I'm saying that there's something out there for you. So don't ever let yourself think otherwise. And it's okay to be in a halt, but don't allow yourself to stay in that halt. Your time is now. Your time is whenever you claim it to be. Stay focused, believe in yourself, and focus on your passions. That's what I would say for when you don't know where to start. And for the second half of your question, when you do know where to start, how do you inspire yourself to keep going? Well, if you're acknowledging your passion and if you're living through your passions, that will be inspiration in itself. I feel like the most difficult thing that you'll have to overcome is not seeing the results immediately, that instant gratification. And instant gratification means you do something, you get paid immediately. Or you do something and you see the results you want immediately. You make the account and you get 10K followers immediately, right? For me, I'm building my business and I don't care. I can be open with you guys. You know, I definitely don't have 10K in my bank right now. Physically, it's on its way to me. I'm claiming it. But, instant gratification for me would be me going out and getting a job that I know that I would be horribly miserable in, even though I have the degree and the qualifications to do, and building my bread, because I don't have faith in the other revenues that were laid out for me, that my spirit knows are laid out for me. And that's my personal story. That's my personal path. I'm not saying that's not for you. You shouldn't get a job and save your money. Listen to your heart. Your heart and your soul and your mind, they work together. Find the balance in them. Lay out a plan. Lay out something that feels comfortable. Yes, Uncomfortableness, if that's a word, is good because that instills growth, but you can still be comfortable and grow at the same time, if that makes sense. Listen to your heart and make a plan. And when things don't go your way immediately, don't give up. They're not meant to go your way. You're supposed to experience things not going your way so you can experience things going your way. So when you want to inspire yourself to keep going, stay focused on that end result that you desire. Stay focused on knowing that it is possible and that it will happen and that it was meant for you. That's why it's been in your head all this time. That's why you've dreamt of it since you were a teenager, since you were a little girl or boy. Believe in yourself. Stay focused on the end results and also not too focused on the future. Focus on the moment. That's the best thing I can say. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Focus on your moments. Focus on your daily tasks. Put effort towards making daily tasks. That's what I do every day, even if it's just 3. Align yourself. Breathe constantly in and out. Meditate. Stretch. Cater to your inner and outer being. More will be discussed in that in other episodes. I don't want to get too, into that, but that would be my advice for knowing where to start and keeping that inspiration going. Acknowledge your passion, believe in your passion, and believe in the harder days, because the harder the day, the brighter the future. All right? Thank you so much for that submission. And if you guys would like to be featured on Off the Chest, I deeply encourage you to DM us on Instagram, because that's where we're taking our submissions right now. You can go ahead and check out our highlight on our profile. It just says podcast. If you click a few times, you'll see the Off the Chest story post. There you can respond in the message and give us a submission, or you can just go ahead and click the message button on our profile and just DM us directly. And you could put Off the Chest in parentheses. If you want to be anonymous, say request to be anonymous. If you would like to go by a screen name other than your username, you could say, please call me this, and that request will be 100% corrected, respected. And it will not be disregarded. It will be respected. We will understand, and it will not be shared with other people. Heavens no. But yes, come on, join the crew. I would love to hear what you would have to say. And without further ado, we're jumping straight into this week's episode. Who am I? The power of self-discovery. Wow, okay. I know my regulars know that that segment was a little longer than usual, right? I mean, I'm looking at the clock. We're already at 18. That's amazing, though, Everything's meant to happen for a reason. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this episode's juice. I am excited. I am ready. The first thing I wanted us to discuss is the ideals of spirituality. Now, I know that there are some people that are going to be like, oh God, what is she finna talk about? Please don't tell me. Yeah. Just give me a chance. And I know there's some other people that are going to be like, yes, let's get into it. But I really want us to get into 3 main things: spirituality, origin, and purpose. And I feel like with an acknowledgement and an understanding and just an acknowledgement and an understanding in those 3 things, you will go a far, far, far place in your life, and it will help you in plenty of ways, more than one, and for you to be able to understand who you are, who you want to be, and how you want to get to that place. All right. So I have written down, what is spirituality? I have that question written down because it's a good focal point. And when I asked myself this question earlier before I started recording, I wrote down what came to my mind. And I said, for me, because I've heard of many definitions, but I wanted to go by one I illustrated personally. And it is the study, acknowledgement, and or understanding of the human spirit, inner being, and or energy within. And it is also related to how our inner energy relates to the energy and realities that surround it. So, for some people that might be like, yeah, that hit home. For other people, they're like, huh? Spirituality is the focus on your inner being. Some people, and maybe you're one of them, might just think, listen, we're just humans, all right? It was just a roll of a die, and, molecule hit molecule, things evolved, and here we are, right? Hey, I'm not here to beat you up about that. I'm just here to challenge you to think a little deeper. That's all. I believe that everything has purpose. Everything has meaning. And I believe that you should never allow fear to let you dim down your thinking and your thought process to being that everything's just dumb luck and we live, we die, and that's that. I personally feel like I have proof of otherwise, but we're not going to get into that. Spirituality is you respecting and understanding that beyond the surface of your skin, muscle, and bone, you have a mind. And I've always said this, which is why I've loved psychology. I majored in psychology. I graduated with psychology. I feel like psychology is the science of the human soul. It speaks about how it's just the science of the mind, but I've always said that in my opinion, the human mind is a physical embodiment of the human soul. Now, I won't get too deep into that either because that'll take a little bit more time. If you want me to put that in another episode, feel free to comment on this podcast or send me a DM requesting it. But spirituality is just the focus on who we are beneath the surface and how our spirit resonates, its origin, what it desires, what our purpose is, how do we feed our spirit, spiritual health, how do we keep our spirits healthy, how does our spirits relate to our mind and our body, all that and then some. And I think that spirituality is a beautiful topic and an important topic that you shouldn't overlook. So I'm encouraging y'all to do some Googling if you never heard of that. And if you have heard of it and if you're associating it with another meaning regarding religion, I get it. And I'm asking you to disassociate. Yes, there are religions that mention spirituality, but it is its own separate entity. And I want you to kind of learn to respect that in a sense. Spirituality is recognizing the effort of finding your self-identity. Who am I? That's what this episode is about. It is the practice of getting to know yourself from the moment of conception, the first moment, the first memory you have in this world, in this reality, to your current memory and moments right now in this life. Spirituality consists of practices of breathing in and out, taming your mind, learning the presence of intrusive thoughts, of your shadow side, of all those things, of the good parts as well and the bad parts, the yin and the yang, the positive and the negative, the you as a whole. I feel like me personally, when I think of spirituality, I think of self-awareness on a whole nother level. It consists of meditation. It consists of mental health. All right. And I know that there are plenty of people that hear spirituality and go, man, that's just religion. Spirituality is not religion. I repeat, spirituality is not religion. And I know in this life, there'll be plenty of humans. Many of them flock together in groups and try to bully us all to believe their beliefs. I personally don't even identify with a religion. I feel that, okay, FYI, I used to consider myself Christian, right? But as I grew up and I understood more about the world, humans, history, I decided to say, I'm not a Christian. I'm simply a believer of God. And I'm not encouraging you to be that. I'm a believer of purpose, of God, of source energy, of the universe, of a higher power. And I worship the beauty of God's love, of unconditional love, of us finding ourselves through Him. You know, I wholeheartedly respect the ideals of Jesus Christ. You know, I definitely pray as my Lord and Savior, but at the same time, ironically, I don't consider myself a Christian. Might get beat up for that, and that's okay, because I don't care what you think. But my point I'm trying to make is I really want y'all to understand I'm not coming from a biased perspective. Spirituality isn't religion. Spirituality is simply you getting to know yourself, and I want you to understand and respect that, all right? Next, I want you to think about origin. It's important to put effort into knowing where you came from so that you may see where you're trying to go. So that means your past, your childhood, your inner child, all of your experiences. For those who are open to receiving, that means understanding and learning about God, about what is a heaven, about what is a purpose, those things. The importance of your past is very, very, very slept on with many people. They tend to subdue it, to suppress it. Acknowledge your origin, because it will always pull you down and hold you back until you acknowledge the power in which it had, so that you may take it back and rise above. I want you to understand that as well. And if you notice, I'm keeping this subject a little quick and simple on this episode about who am I, ironically, because I didn't want to dive too, personal. I feel like that type of personal thing, it would take way more than 30 minutes. And lately we've been keeping it at 30 minutes. So yeah. But the last thing is, what is your purpose? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? In this life, we tend to accidentally allow other people to want for us. And we end up confusing what they want for us versus what we want for ourselves. Acknowledge that. I challenge you to relook every aspect of your life, every aspect of your desires, of your goals, of your passions, and see, is this what I want? Are these my goals? Are these my passions? Or were these laid out for me by my predecessors, by people before me? I hope that's right. It could be ancestors. I think predecessors are after. Please don't judge me. But the point is, it's typically in this human life, in this reality, I tend to notice how generations of people are just passing on their ideals and their beliefs to others and masking their children's ability to create and find something for themselves. Break that cycle. You are your own person, and you deserve to live the life you want for yourself. This is your moment, this is your calling, and this is a sign for you to be brave enough to stop subduing your passions and be who you want to be, because you deserve to be it. Find your passion, own your power, build your life. You will feel happier and stronger when you do so, because you were meant to do it all along. There's this one quote that says, if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion. For your passion will lead you right into your purpose. And that's facts. We were all born with a passion. We're all born with the ability to naturally find that passion. And in that passion, as I said earlier, you find your purpose. We were all meant to have a purpose, and it's our choice to decide what that is for ourselves. Or we could just be bullied, be zombies, and live other people's lives, give our lives to other people. I'm not saying, hey, if your passion is to help other people, that's different. But don't give your life to other people and live other people's goals. Live your life, have your goals, fulfill your dreams, not your mother's dreams, not your father's dreams, your grandmother's dreams. And for my parents out there, stop projecting your dreams onto your children. You still have a chance. If you care so much about it, live it yourself. And if you've already accomplished it, rejoice Why are you bullying them? They're not you and you're not them. Let them have their moment and let them live their life. By the way, that quote was from Bishop T.D. Jakes. And isn't that funny? I know that there was a random skeptical about him, but I just felt like that was proof that everybody goes through stuff and everyone's human. Nobody's perfect. And that's the beauty of life. Imperfectionism. So don't allow anyone to bully you otherwise. So I hate how short this message was, but I think that it was pretty simple and straight to the point. Like I said, I couldn't get too deep because I feel like that would just be an hour episode, which I don't mind, but I want our hour episodes to be more with a co-host, not just me rambling. So that'll be coming soon. Look out for that. And it's time for my alignment disclaimer. Hey, I get it. Some things may raise a red flag for you. You may not agree with some things that I said. Hey, it's okay. You're not supposed to. I'm grateful that you don't agree with everything I said. You have your own mind. Use it. But I also encourage you to keep your mind open to receiving, looking up what I said, maybe hearing a different perspective. Maybe you weren't meant to hear it now and you'll hear it in another life. Also, for my Christians and God believers, please don't shun me because you're going to misdirect my meaning when I said I'm not a Christian. I just simply don't identify with labels. Labels in my belief are simply validation. My connection to God is personal, and my home is my church. Not saying I won't go to church, but I decide that I don't need a community of people to be powerful in my own right and to have a relationship with God, the universe, source energy in my own right. I can create that for myself. And that's all I was trying to illustrate. I just wanted to put that out there because I felt like somebody might have misunderstood what I was trying to say earlier. Also, I got to make sure I'm not moving in validation, right, guys? Because, hey, you know what you mean and you can't control how someone feels, right? Right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with that powerful quote of the week. And this one states, and I didn't get the author, sorry guys, it was anonymous, but it says, the mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for. I'm encouraging you to find something to live for. There's something there. Don't give up. Find it. Hold on to it and never let it go. And watch how that one thing blossoms into numerous things. And that's the beauty of life. All right? Life's slippery. I hope that trust is being established for you to be able to take my hand. I am deeply honored and incredibly thrilled to be here, right now, raising awareness with you guys. I'm sincere, my heart is pure, and I just want to spread love, light, and joy to whoever needs to receive it. If this episode wasn't for you, tune into a couple of other ones because I guarantee I'm spreading truth to whoever will listen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you and I thank you for spending your valuable time with me. The goal is balance within, so I say, let's heal together, guys. I'll see you next week. Please note that this podcast or any other resources from Kokoropsyche.com should not be replaced with professional mental health care. If you feel you would benefit, please reach out to a provider in your area. Have a beautifully blessed and purposeful day, an amazingly blessed and purposeful weekend. Thank you so much for supporting Kokoropsyche.com. Much love.